Okay, so if Kawaki wasn't powerful enough, he's about to get just a little bit stronger. But in order to fully wrap your head around the new form, Dojutsu, upcoming fight, and more, be sure to subscribe as it's the cure to my depression, and hit the notification bell because why not? Now let's jump straight into it. Now, I already talked about and broke down Boruto Chapter 65, but I thought I would give a quick little recap for those who either skipped it or are just a little bit rusty on the topic. Now, it started off with Boruto essentially getting a hallucination of Momoshiki and him ultimately getting taken over. Now, it appears that the karma is either getting stronger or closer to getting complete, as Boruto no longer needs to be unconscious or completely depleted of his chakra in order for Momoshiki to re-emerge in his body. Now, we also know that Amato was on the brink of discovering that Code was working with someone else, like Ida, as he noted that Code doesn't have any sensing capabilities, so he shouldn't have already found Kawaki. It didn't really make sense to him. And if you guys remember his internal monologue that was going on, he went on to state that he and Kawaki have already made it this far. You know, that just kind of adds to the reasons why I think Amato's kind of sus. But Naruto intercepts them, and before Borushiki and Code gang up on him, we get to see the reveal of Kawaki's new karma transformation. Now, a couple of things I wanted to note is that, first of all, it seems like he is in control of the karma, much like Boruto was in Chapter 64. And this may be what Amato was talking about, as he was constantly, as we already know that he was constantly pushing Kawaki to get the karma back as a weapon. But we don't know why, though. We don't know his motives, and for all we know, he could be preparing Kawaki as his own vessel or something. Now, regardless, that brings us to what we should expect for Boruto Chapter 66. So we know for a fact, or sorry, not a fact, but we know that more likely than not, we're going to see a 2v2. As before, it seemed a little bit unfair in Naruto's favor, as he was going to have to do a 2v1 against Borushiki and Code. But now, without the help of Kurama, as Kurama stated that he wouldn't have superhuman strength anymore. So I would definitely like to see the upper limits of his power, but with Kawaki's new state, it looks like he's going to be able to contest Boruto, which I'm really interested to see, and I'm sure you should be as well, as this is going to be the first time that we see two fully transformed karmas fight each other, while Naruto and Code are probably going to duke it out on the side as well. My guess is that Shikamaru is going to be constantly helping him in combat, as we don't know exactly how strong Code is with his limiters, besides the fact that he seems to be weaker than Borushiki. Also, if the writers actually decide to make the Kawaki fight make sense, he should be blatantly more powerful than Borushiki, as although Ishiki does no longer exist, ideally his karma would be left the same as the previous one, and he should still have the same residual energy left within himself as he became more and more Otsutsuki-like. And if this is anything like his original karma, he'd be a fraction of Ishiki's power, which is way more than a fraction of Momoshiki's power due to basic power scaling. And I also wanted to talk about Ishiki's eye, which is something that people kept pestering me about at the end of Boruto Chapter 65. Kawaki does seem to have a Dojutsu active in his left eye, which is something that I believe we haven't really seen him have in the past. Now, this may just be to mimic the appearance of Borushiki's incomplete transformation, but who do we know that also has a Dojutsu that Kawaki's karma is also tied to? That's right, it's none other than Ishiki himself. So obviously Ishiki's left eye was a Byakugan, even in his real body, and this new appearance does seem to be empty and white, kind of like a Byakugan, so I'm assuming that the Dojutsu that Kawaki has right now is the Byakugan in his left eye. But I would also like to see Kawaki gain control of Ishiki's Sukuna Hikona ability, which is where he can shrink himself and any non-living matter and bring them into pocket dimensions, and this would definitely broaden Kawaki's arsenal. I have a video talking about that if you guys want to go check that out. That coupled with the fact that this Dojutsu was barely seen before, I would be pretty disappointed if this gets left out and soon forgotten. But that brings us to what may happen and what could possibly happen and some long-term predictions for you all. Now, this portion of the video is mainly speculation, as everything previous is most likely to happen, but this stuff is speculation, so just take whatever I say with a grain of salt. But I do see Borushiki being taken down within the next couple of chapters, as he'll probably be not too effective against Kawaki's weaponized karma, and if anything, you know, they'll end up in a stalemate. Also, I think the most interesting end to this altercation would involve Kawaki getting kidnapped towards the end of the fighting when everybody's drained, and it'll turn into more of a rescue mission type deal. Now, having barely made it out, Code would have to look to get his limiters removed, and when he does, Naruto's going to be in for a long ride. Now, their only chance at this point is for Borushiki and Kawaki with this karma to fight against Code, because Naruto is slowly being left behind and the new generation is taking his place, which is what I'm sure the authors and writers intended for the story, for them to top their predecessors, much like how Naruto surpassed his own predecessors. No matter how cool they seemed, they were all eventually left behind. Anyways, that brings us to the end of today's speculation. If you guys like more videos like this, more discussion videos, parallel versus battles, news, and more, definitely be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, as well as joining the public Discord server down below, and I'll catch you in the next one.